My precious child, I am commanding you to stop in this very moment. Do not move past this message. Do not tell yourself that you will return to it when life is quieter or when your list of tasks is shorter. This is not a coincidence. This is not a random occurrence in the middle of a distracted afternoon. I have intercepted your path today because I need to speak to the depths of your soul, and this conversation cannot be delayed. I know how fast your world moves. I see how quickly your fingers scroll and how easily your attention is pulled in 1,000 different directions by 1,000 different voices. But I am asking you to hear me now. Please, listen with the ears of your spirit. The enemy of your soul does not want you to receive what I am about to say. He thrives in the noise, in the rush, but what I am revealing to you right now is too vital to wait another second. I know that just a moment ago, your mind was racing. I know your heart has been feeling the weight of the world, and your spirit has been stretched until it feels thin and fragile. Even now, part of you is already jumping ahead to the next thing you must do, the things you haven't finished, or the ways you feel you have fallen behind. But I am inviting you to pause. Stay here with me just long enough to truly listen. This moment was arranged in the heavens before you were even aware of it. I stepped into your flow on purpose because I refuse to let you miss the very thing your soul has been crying out for in the silence. You may not even realize how close you were to moving past this invitation. You may not recognize how significant this pause is for your journey. It's not that I would ever stop loving you. My love is an eternal constant. But if you had hurried away, you would have walked past a door that I opened specifically for you. The enemy understands the power of timing. He knows that if he can distract you, exhaust you, or keep you in a state of constant rush, he can keep you from the truth that sets you free. That is why your life has felt so loud lately. That is why stillness has felt like a luxury you cannot afford. But I am louder than the chaos, and my voice is reaching you now. I am not commanding you to stop because I am frustrated with your pace. I am commanding you because I am your protector. I am not raising my voice in anger. I am raising it in urgency. I am like a father who sees a danger his child cannot yet perceive, calling out before you take another step in the wrong direction. I know you are strong. I have seen how much you have endured and how you have learned to keep moving even when your heart is breaking. But there are moments when human strength is not enough. There are seasons when listening becomes your very means of survival. You have been carrying questions that you don't even know how to put into words. You have been feeling a stirring deep inside that you cannot fully explain to anyone else. There is a sense that something is about to shift, that something must change, yet you haven't known where to turn or what to trust. You have wondered if you missed my guidance in the past, or if you moved too quickly when you should have waited. Those thoughts are precisely why I am speaking to you now. I see the quiet battles you fight when no one is watching. I see the nights when your body is still, but your mind is a storm of what-ifs. I see how you show up for everyone else while you feel completely invisible yourself. My child, I have never been absent from your struggles. I have been watching, guiding, and preparing you even when you felt most alone. This message is not intended to frighten you, but it is intended to wake you up. I am not here to overwhelm you with fear, but I will not soften the truth so much that it loses its power to save you. What I have to share is personal. It is timely, and it is connected to the very prayers you've stopped using words for. You may not even realize how close you were to moving past this invitation. You may not recognize how significant this pause is for your journey. It's not that I would ever stop loving you. My love is an eternal constant. But if you had hurried away, you would have walked past a door that I opened specifically for you. The enemy understands the power of timing. He knows that if he can distract you, exhaust you, or keep you in a state of constant rush,
He can keep you from the truth that sets you free. That is why your life has felt so loud lately. That is why stillness has felt like a luxury you cannot afford. But I am louder than the chaos, and my voice is reaching you now. I am not commanding you to stop because I am frustrated with your pace. I am commanding you because I am your protector. I am not raising my voice in anger. I am raising it in urgency. I am like a father who sees a danger his child cannot yet perceive, calling out before you take another step in the wrong direction. I know you are strong. I have seen how much you have endured and how you have learned to keep moving even when your heart is breaking. But there are moments when human strength is not enough. There are seasons when listening becomes your very means of survival. You have been carrying questions that you don't even know how to put into words. You have been feeling a stirring deep inside that you cannot fully explain to anyone else. There is a sense that something is about to shift, that something must change, yet you haven't known where to turn or what to trust. You have wondered if you missed my guidance in the past, or if you moved too quickly when you should have waited. Those thoughts are precisely why I am speaking to you now. I see the quiet battles you fight when no one is watching. I see the nights when your body is still, but your mind is a storm of what-ifs. I see how you show up for everyone else while you feel completely invisible yourself. My child, I have never been absent from your struggles. I have been watching, guiding, and preparing you even when you felt most alone. This message is not intended to frighten you, but it is intended to wake you up. I am not here to overwhelm you with fear, but I will not soften the truth so much that it loses its power to save you. What I have to share is personal. It is timely, and it is connected to the very prayers you've stopped using words for. You may not even realize how close you were to moving past this invitation. You may not recognize how significant this pause is for your journey. It's not that I would ever stop loving you. My love is an eternal constant. But if you had hurried away, you would have walked past a door that I opened specifically for you. The enemy understands the power of timing. He knows that if he can distract you, exhaust you, or keep you in a state of constant rush, he can keep you from the truth that sets you free. That is why your life has felt so loud lately. That is why stillness has felt like a luxury you cannot afford. But I am louder than the chaos, and my voice is reaching you now. I am not commanding you to stop because I am frustrated with your pace. I am commanding you because I am your protector.
You are standing at a moment where your next step matters more than you can imagine. This pause is not a delay, it is part of your direction. This listening is part of your healing. If you try to rush past it, you will continue to carry the weight that was meant to be lifted here. The enemy has been whispering that you are too busy for me, that you are too inconsistent, or that you don't have the energy to engage deeply. But I am not asking for what you don't have. I am asking for the attention you are already giving away to things that cannot restore your soul. Stay here. Breathe. Let your shoulders relax. You are safe in my presence. You are not in trouble. You are not being judged. You are being invited into clarity. I will not waste your time. Every word I speak is intentional, and every moment you give me now will return to you as a profound peace later. Do not let the urgency frighten you. Let it focus you. This is a call toward life. I see what you cannot yet see, and I want you to walk forward with confidence instead of fear. I know how full your life feels. I know how every hour is claimed before it even begins. But later is the place where many answers are lost. That is why I'm speaking now. I see how you move from responsibility to responsibility, rarely stopping long enough to feel what is actually happening inside your heart. You have become skilled at pushing forward even when you are empty. But my child, you were not created to live on fumes. The hesitation you felt when you stopped to listen did not make me angry.
it made me more urgent. I know how easily moments like this are snatched away. The enemy hopes you will convince yourself that this can wait. He knows that if he can delay you, he doesn't have to attack you. Distraction is the greatest threat to your peace. It wasn't a choice you made to drift. It happened slowly, little by little, through the noise of a busy life. I am stepping in because I see where continued silence would lead you. I see how postponing this listening would only deepen the confusion you've been feeling. You tell yourself you just need to get through this season, but seasons don't settle on their own. They shape you while you are in them. I am interrupting you now before you are depleted beyond repair. I honor your endurance, but endurance without direction leads only to burnout. Strength without stillness leads to numbness, and I refuse to let that be your future. This is about connection, not control. There are truths I want to remind you of that cannot be heard over the constant hum of the world. There are burdens I want to lift that you keep carrying simply because you haven't paused long enough to lay them down. I speak when hearts are open, even if minds are busy. Silence in this moment would be too costly. I am deeply invested in your life. I see how powerfully your future can be changed by this one small moment of listening. You have felt off balance lately, like you are moving but not always arriving. That feeling is a signal, and I am responding to it now. You do not need to brace yourself for punishment. Everything I say to you is wrapped in an infinite love. My urgency is meant to draw you closer, not push you away. I would rather interrupt your schedule today than watch you drift into a deeper exhaustion tomorrow. My beloved, I see the questions you've been asking in secret. I hear the words you form only in your thoughts because you are afraid of what the answer might require. Your question has already reached the throne of heaven. You may feel like you've been waiting too long, but silence does not mean I am absent. I have heard the fear beneath your questions and the weariness wrapped around your spirit. I know there are moments when you feel stuck, suspended between what was and what is supposed to come next. You have tried to be patient, but there are days when confusion feels heavier than hope. I see those days. I know you want to be sure that you have not missed your moment or wasted your life. My child, your spirit has been crying out for confirmation, and I am here to give it to you. I do not grow weary of your seeking. That restlessness inside you is not a sign that you are lost. It is the sound of your spirit responding to my leading before your mind can understand it. I see how you second-guess yourself, wondering if one wrong step could undo everything. Those worries are not the truth. I have not been silent because I didn't care. I have been quiet because the answer you seek is about alignment and timing, not just information. Quick answers are not always kind. They can lead you into battles you aren't yet prepared to face. My love for you is proven by my faithfulness, not by my speed. While you were waiting, I was working on you. I was strengthening your inner life and teaching you to rely on my character rather than your circumstances. I am withholding nothing from you out of distance. I am guarding the answer until it can be received without fear or pressure. Your longing has been noticed. Your confusion has been met with my compassion. Heaven has received your cry, and I am responding in a way that heals.
The middle-aged man, with a slightly hoarse voice and a hint of anger, possessed considerable knowledge. Understand this deeply. The delay you've been wrestling with was never a rejection. It was protection. I know it didn't feel that way. I know it felt like silence, but I was standing between you and a harm you could not see. There were doors you wanted opened quickly, but I saw the traps hidden beyond them. I slowed you down to preserve you. You thought you were being held back, but in truth, you were being shielded under the shadow of my wings. I intercepted the spiritual battles before they ever reached you. I blocked the alliances that would have sabotaged your peace. I know it was hard to wait, but if you had moved when you wanted to, you would have stepped into wounds I never intended for you to carry.
My silence was intentional. I was building patience where haste once ruled. I was deepening your roots so that when the harvest comes, you will be able to stand against the wind. Timing matters more than desire. Certainty without readiness leads only to fear. I was not testing you for my benefit. I was protecting your future for yours. I do not rush what I value, and I do not hurry what I intend to last forever. You are not the same person you were when you first asked the question, and that is a miracle in itself. The delay didn't weaken you, it protected the very core of who you are. You were never being pushed away, you were being pulled closer. You were never being denied, you were being defended. Trust is formed in the waiting, and timing is revealed through your patience. You are standing on ground that is steadier than it was before. You are closer to the answer than you realize, and you are safer than you can possibly know. Every moment of this waiting was held in my hands and guided by my love for you. My child, let the weight of your shoulders drop completely now. You have been holding your breath for so long, waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for the next crisis to arrive. But in this hour, there is no crisis. There is only the rhythm of my grace and the steady beat of your heart. I want to walk with you through the hallways of your memories, not to judge you for where you've been, but to heal the places where you were left wounded and alone. I see the moments when you felt completely misunderstood by the people who were supposed to know you best. I saw the look in your eyes when your words were twisted and your intentions were questioned. You felt a loneliness that felt like a cold winter, and you wondered if anyone would ever truly see the real you. Hear me now. I have always seen you. I saw the kindness you showed when you were hurting. I saw the way you kept giving even when you felt empty. You are not invisible to me, and you never have been. Let us speak about the failures you cannot seem to forgive yourself for. You keep a record of every mistake, every wrong turn, and every word you wish you could take back. You replay these scenes in your mind at night, letting shame tell you that you are disqualified from my best. My child, I have already moved past those things. When I look at you, I don't see the person you were in your weakest moment. I see the child I bought with a price. I see the glory I have placed inside of you. If I have forgiven you, why do you still condemn yourself? Lay down the gavel of judgment and let me be the only judge. I see the tiredness that sleep cannot cure. It is a weariness of the soul, born from years of trying to be strong for everyone else. You have been the pillar, the listener, and the one who fixes everything. But who fixes the fixer? Who carries the one who carries the world? I am here to do that for you. You are allowed to be weak in my arms. You don't have to have the answers tonight. You don't have to plan for next week or even next year. Just exist here, held by the one who never grows weary and never sleeps. There are dreams you've buried because you thought they were dead. You put them away because it hurt too much to hope for them anymore. You told yourself that maybe you heard me wrong, or maybe you just weren't good enough to see them come to pass. But I am the God of the resurrection. I am the one who breathes life into dry bones. Those dreams were seeds, not corpses. They had to go into the dark soil to die to your timing so they could live in mine. Don't give up on the promises I whispered to you in the dark. I am still the weaver of your destiny, and the best chapters have yet to be read. I want to heal your fear of the future. You worry about getting older, about being alone, about not having enough. These fears are like thieves that steal the joy of today. Look at the birds of the air. They don't worry about tomorrow's meal, yet I feed them. Look at the lilies of the field. They don't strive, yet they are clothed in beauty. Are you not worth so much more than they? I have gone before you into your tomorrow. I have already provided for the needs you haven't even encountered yet. Trust me with the unknown, because the unknown is fully known to me. As you rest here, feel my presence like a warm blanket covering your entire being.
I am washing away the grit of the world from your mind. I am softening the hard edges of your heart that were formed by bitterness and pain. You are safe to be soft again. You are safe to trust again. I am your refuge, your fortress, and your very present help in times of trouble. You are not drifting. You are being guided. You are not falling. You are being held.
Carry this peace with you when you leave this moment. It is not a fleeting emotion. It is a spiritual reality. You are a child of the King, and you walk with the authority of heaven behind you. No weapon formed against your peace shall prosper. No lie spoken against your identity shall stand. You are loved with an everlasting love, and that love is the anchor of your soul. My child, I will never leave you nor forsake you. I am with you in the fire, and I am with you in the flood. I am with you in the celebration, and I am with you in the mourning. You can never wander beyond the reach of my grace. You can never fall lower than my arms can reach. Sleep now, or walk forward, knowing that the Creator of the stars knows your name and calls you His own. My child, do not be afraid of the silence that surrounds us now. Most people flee from silence because they are afraid of what they will find when the noise stops. But you and I, we find each other here. I want to talk to you about the deep roots of your life. You often worry about the leaves, the things people see, your appearance, your achievements, the way you present yourself to the world. But I am the one who tends to your roots. I am the one who nourishes you in the hidden places where no one else can go. I want to address the shadow you feel following you, that lingering sense that something is missing or that you are always one step away from losing everything you've worked for. That shadow is not a prophecy of your future. It is simply a lie that fear tells you to keep you from walking in the sun. I am your light, and in me there is no darkness at all. When you walk with me, the shadows must fall behind you. Stop turning around to check if the fear is still there. Keep your eyes on my face and let the warmth of my love dissolve the chill in your bones. Let us speak of the grace of the ordinary. You are waiting for a burning bush, a thunderclap, or a grand miracle to prove that I am with you. But I am in the breath you just took. I am in the kindness of a stranger, the safety of your home, and the quiet strength that allowed you to get out of bed this morning. Do not miss my presence because you are looking for something bigger. Nothing is bigger than the fact that the Creator of the universe is mindful of you right now. Your ordinary life is holy ground when you walk it with me. I see your anxiety over your loved ones. You carry their burdens as if they were your own. You stay awake wondering if they will be safe, if they will make the right choices, and if they will be okay. My child, I love them more than you do. I have a plan for them that is as intricate and beautiful as the one I have for you. You can trust me with the people you love. Relinquish the need to control their journey. Give them to me and find the peace that comes from knowing they are in the hands of the great shepherd. Receive my strength for the long walk. Some days are not meant for running. They are meant for simply standing. You feel like you are failing because you aren't making progress at the speed you expected. But I measure progress by the depth of your trust, not the distance of your stride. If today all you did was hold on to my hand, then today was a victory. I am not rushing you. I am walking at your pace, and my arm is strong enough to lean on for as long as you need. I am granting you the freedom of the small. You don't have to be a giant to be useful in my kingdom. A small light can pierce the deepest dark. A small seed can move a mountain as it grows. Stop trying to be great and simply try to be mine. There is a profound liberty in realizing that the weight of the world is not on your shoulders, it is on mine.
You are a child, not a god. Embrace your smallness, for that is where you find my greatness. As we sit in this final hour of our communion, let the truth of your identity sink into your spirit. You are not a mistake. You are not a burden. You are not an afterthought. You were planned. You were wanted. You are cherished. Every detail of your life is a line in a poem I am writing, and I never write a bad ending. Go forward from this place with a quiet heart. You don't have to shout to be heard. You don't have to fight to be safe. You only have to remain. Remain in my love. Remain in my peace. And remain in the certainty that I am for you. My beloved child, I need you to stop everything right now. This moment is not meant for the world, and it is not meant for the masses. This is a sacred appointment designed only for you and me. I have intentionally stepped into the flow of your day, interrupting your path with a divine purpose. I have brought you to a standstill mid-scroll, mid-thought, and even in the middle of a weary breath. I have done this because what I am about to whisper into your heart cannot be blended with the noise of your life. This is not a moment for a crowd, and there is no audience watching us from the wings. No one else is listening on this frequency. It is just you and me, face to face, spirit to spirit, heart to heart. I need you to grasp just how rare and how holy this encounter truly is.
This very second was written into the fabric of eternity long before time began, long before your anxieties had names, or your questions began to form in the dark, long before you grew exhausted from the heavy burden of trying to be strong for everyone else. I saw this exact moment from the beginning. I knew precisely where you would be, what heavy burdens you would be carrying, and just how close you were to giving up on listening altogether. And still, I waited for you. I waited for this specific point in time when your heart would finally be quiet enough, vulnerable enough, and open enough to hear my voice without the armor of your defenses. You are not here by accident. You are not here by habit or chance. You are here because I, your Creator, have led you here by the hand. Listen with all that you are. This message is not a mere motivational speech, and it is not a general word for the public. It is not something to be shared carelessly or consumed like common noise. These words cannot be repeated to anyone else in the same way, because they were formed specifically around the unique shape of your life. They were woven around your specific story, your hidden wounds, your unspoken questions, and the future I have prepared for you. This message exists simply because you exist. If you were not alive, these words would not need to be spoken. That is how personal this is. I am not speaking in broad theories or distant ideas. I am speaking directly into the core of your soul. I waited for this exact second, and I did not rush it. I did not release these words to you a day early, and I will not send them again in this exact way later. Timing is the language of love. Timing is the signature of destiny. You may have felt like your life has been stuck in a long pause, or that your path has been delayed and shrouded in fog. But hear me, heaven has never been confused about you. Heaven has been operating with absolute precision. Every difficult step, every painful pause, and every deep ache has brought you to this threshold where I can finally speak to you without interruption. Do not push this away. Do not tell yourself that you will return to this when you feel ready. Walking away from this moment will change the atmosphere of your spirit. You either receive the grace I am laying before you, or you walk away from a window of opportunity that cannot be recreated. I am not saying this to bring you fear. I am saying this because truth carries weight, and this is a weight of glory. The heavens have orchestrated this meeting. The angels were not guessing your location. This was not a random alignment of the stars. I arranged every circumstance, every delay,
and even the distractions of your day just so you would land right here in my presence. You might not understand the divine effort that went into bringing you to this point, but I do, and I never waste a divine appointment. When I stop you like this, it is because something vital must be uttered now, not later. I see the fear trying to tighten your chest. I see that familiar urge to pull back and hide. Let me reach in and remove that fear. Let me replace it with a closeness you have never known. You are not in trouble with me. You are not being judged for your past, and you are not being tested for your performance. You are being invited. There is a vast difference between a trial and an invitation. Fear tells you to run and hide, but love tells you to come closer still. I am asking you to step into the light of my presence right now. This has nothing to do with religion or rules or how well you have performed lately. It is not about labels or systems or proving your worth. Strip all of that away for a moment. This is just about you and me. I am not speaking to the version of you that pretends to be okay. I am not speaking to the mask that the world sees. I am speaking to the real you, the tired you, the questioning you, the hopeful you that still flickers like a candle after a long storm. Something irreversible begins the very moment you truly decide to listen. Not when you finish these words, but when your heart finally chooses to open instead of protecting itself. When you stop analyzing every syllable and simply start receiving the love behind them. When you allow yourself to believe, even if only for a second, that I am speaking directly to you. Shifts in the spirit happen before changes in the physical world. Seeds must take root in the dark before they break the surface. Right now, something is being planted in the soil of your life that will ensure you are never the same again. This is about you and me, and no one gets a vote. Not the past that tried to define you, not the people who hurt you, and not the expectations that have crushed you. Those voices have no authority here. Only our voices remain. That is why this feels so different from anything else you've heard. That is why your soul feels a tug it cannot explain. This moment cannot be repeated. Not because I will ever stop loving you, but because a specific grace has been wrapped in this specific time. You were meant to hear this now. Now that your heart is soft enough to feel and strong enough to endure the weight of the truth. Now that you are finished with shallow answers and ready for something that reaches the depths. What happens next will change the trajectory of your life. Not because life will suddenly be without challenge, but because you will never walk through those challenges alone again. Awareness changes your direction. Truth changes your posture. Closeness changes your courage. You will begin to see your world through my eyes. You will respond with a peace that surpasses understanding. You will choose differently because something inside your core has been realigned. Stay here with me. Do not rush away. Do not try to do two things at once. Let this moment finish the work it has started in you. You are not alone. You never were. And this conversation is only the beginning of a beautiful homecoming. I remember the times when it was just you and me. Do you remember? A time when the world felt quieter, even when the noise of life was loud around you. A time when your heart would soften the moment you thought of my name. You didn't need many words then. You were content to sit in the silence. You allowed tears to fall without warning or shame. You felt a longing so deep you couldn't explain it, but you knew I was there. I treasure those moments. I remember when you spoke to me with raw honesty, without rehearsing your prayers or trying to sound holy. You spoke from where you truly were. I remember your whispered prayers when your faith felt simple and alive. I remember when believing didn't feel like a chore or a struggle. You didn't analyze every feeling back then. You simply came to me. I want you to know that those moments were real. They were not just fragile phases or temporary emotions. They were the foundation of our connection. You may wonder why that closeness seems to have faded. You may feel a sadness when you think of how near I once felt compared to now. But hear me with tenderness. I am not blaming you. I am not disappointed. I understand that life happened. Responsibilities grew heavy, disappointments piled up, and you learned to survive by being strong instead of being surrendered. You didn't stop loving me. You just became busy surviving. You started carrying weights you were never meant to hold alone. You told yourself you would find the silence again once things calmed down. But I never moved. I never stepped back. The distance you felt was not my absence. It was your exhaustion. I have been waiting here all along with open arms, not with a lecture, but with a refuge. Those moments of closeness are not just in your past, they are your future. We are rebuilding that foundation right now, not through rules or guilt, but through the simple act of you being present here with me. You do not have to perform for me. You do not have to earn this peace. You only have to allow it to want. I remember your whispered prayers when your faith felt simple and alive. I remember when believing didn't feel like a chore or a struggle. You didn't analyze every feeling back then. You simply came to me. I want you to know that those moments were real. They were not just fragile phases or temporary emotions. They were the foundation of our connection. You may wonder why that closeness seems to have faded. You may feel a sadness when you think of how near I once felt compared to now. But hear me with tenderness. I am not blaming you. I am not disappointed. I understand that life happened. Responsibilities grew heavy. Disappointments piled up, and you learned to survive by being strong instead of being surrendered. You didn't stop loving me, you just became busy surviving. You started carrying weights you were never meant to hold alone. You told yourself you would find the silence again once things calmed down. But I never moved, I never stepped back. The distance you felt was not my absence, it was your exhaustion. I have been waiting here all along with open arms, not with a lecture, but with a refuge. Those moments of closeness are not just in your past, they are your future. We are rebuilding that foundation right now, not through rules or guilt, but through the simple act of you being present here with me. You do not have to perform for me. You do not have to earn this peace. You only have to allow it to wash over you. Let go of the lie that something was lost forever. Nothing real between us can ever be destroyed. It was just covered by the noise of the world. And today, we are silencing the noise. Today, your heart is softening again. Today, trust is returning as a deep, unshakable strength. I am still here. I always was. And now, once again, it is just you and me, my child. I know how heavy your heart has been. I know it's a heaviness that sleep cannot reach and a vacation cannot fix. You wake up with a weight you cannot name, and you go to bed with it still pressing on your chest. You've learned to function with it, to smile through it, and to keep moving while bruised. But I see the quiet sadness you rarely admit. I see how you tuck it away so you won't burden anyone else. You tell yourself others have it worse, but your pain is not a competition. It is real to me because you are real to me. You have felt misunderstood and invisible, even in a room full of people. You have wanted someone to ask how you really are and actually stay for the answer. Since that didn't happen, you became a master of silence. But I am the one who sees you. I see the cost of your strength. I see the spiritual weight you've been carrying, trying to hold everything together by yourself. I am inviting you to let go. Letting go is not failing, it is trusting. You were never meant to be the pillar that holds up the world. That is my job. Strength is not the absence of tears. Strength is knowing when to fall into my arms. You have been strong for too long without a rest. I am not looking at you with disappointment, but with a heart full of compassion. I see the person who didn't give up, who kept loving, and who kept hoping even when hope felt like a shadow. Now, let me carry what you no longer can. You don't need to explain it. You don't need to justify it. Just rest.
Let the healing begin in the quiet. Breathing will become easier. Your thoughts will slow down. Your soul will find its home again. Nothing you have ever wondered has shocked me. Your doubts do not drive me away. Your questions about being enough or finding your purpose, I heard them all. You are enough because you are mine. Your purpose is not a destination you might miss. It is a journey we take together. I can weave beauty from every detour you've taken. I am not threatened by your honesty. Bring your fears about the future to me. Bring the thoughts you were too ashamed to say out loud. I already know them, and I am still here. I am not far above your experience. I am right inside it with you. You are safe to be real. You are safe to be weak. You are safe to be you. As you release the heaviness, feel the light beginning to break through. You are loved beyond measure. You are seen beyond your surface. You are held beyond your strength. My child, let us stay in this quietness a little longer. We are doing deep work here, the kind of work that cannot be rushed by the ticking of a clock. You have spent years building a version of yourself that could survive the world. You built walls of sarcasm to protect your tenderness. You built towers of productivity to prove your worth. You built moats of isolation so no one could get close enough to see the cracks. But I am here as the master architect and am telling you that it is safe to take those walls down now. You don't need to defend yourself when the creator of the universe is your fortress.
The beauty of the unfinished. You look at your life and you see a construction site, dust, debris, and scaffolding. You feel frustrated because you aren't there yet. You apologize to me for being a work in progress. But my child, I love the process as much as the result. I am not waiting for you to be finished before I enjoy your company. I am in the dust with you. I am in the heavy lifting. I am in the moments when you have to tear something down to build it back stronger. Your unfinished state is not a flaw. It is the space where my grace has room to move. Let us address the fatigue of the mask. It takes so much energy to be who everyone expects you to be. It is exhausting to keep the mask from slipping. You are tired because you are playing a role instead of living a life. In this sacred space, you can drop the role. You don't have to be the good child, the strong leader, or the perfect partner. You only have to be the beloved child. When you stop pretending, you stop leaking energy. True rest begins when the person you are in the dark is the same person you are in the light. Let me show you the beauty of your own true face. I see your fear of disappointing me. You think that my love is a fragile thing, that if you fail one more time, it will finally break. You live with a subtle anxiety that you are one mistake away from being cast out. Listen to me carefully. My love for you is not a reward for your behavior. It is a commitment of my character. I knew every sin you would ever commit before I called you mine. I knew every doubt you would ever have. I am not surprised by your humanity. You cannot disappoint the one who already knows everything and loves you anyway. Release the fear of failing me and start living in the freedom of being held by me. Receive my vision for your potential. You see your limitations, I see your possibilities. You see your history, I see your destiny. You see a small seed, I see a forest. I am breathing new life into the gifts you have let go dormant. I am awakening the passions that the world told you were unrealistic. Nothing I placed inside you was a mistake. The things that make you different are the very things I want to use to bring light to the world. Stop trying to fit into the molds others have made for you. You were designed to break the mold. I am granting you the peace of the present moment. Most of your suffering happens in a future that hasn't happened yet, or a past that cannot be changed. but I am the great I am, not the I was or the I will be. I am here, right now, in this very breath. When you worry, you are trying to live in a space where I haven't given you grace yet. Grace is only for the present. Stay here with me. Everything you need for this second is already provided. You are safe. You are provided for. You are home. As the silence stretches out, feel the new foundation being laid beneath your feet. It is a foundation of unmerited favor. It is a foundation of eternal belonging. No storm can wash this ground away. No fire can consume this house. You are being rebuilt from the inside out, not by your will, but by my Spirit. You are a temple of my presence. You are a work of art in my hands. You are precious beyond words. Be still, be still, be still, and know that I am your solid rock.